ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੇਰਾ ਨਾਮ ਜੈਸਮਿਨ ਕੌਰ ਹੈ ਅਤੇ ਮੇਰੀ ਦੂਜੀ ਭਾਸ਼ਾ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਹੈ which in English translates to hello, my name is Jasmine and my second language is Punjabi. Growing up, I spoke Punjabi both inside my house with relatives and also grew up speaking it in India, where I was raised for a little while. And Punjabi originates from the Punjab state in India. And so, unlike English, Punjabi does gender nouns and verbs. In the example given, man, which in Punjabi would be called a banda, ends with that a or a sound, making it singular, and it would translate to one man in English, whereas bande would be like a group of men. And for the more feminine example would be wife, which is garwali in Punjabi, and that I gives it that femininity, and as well as it being singular, whereas garwaliya, with that ending iya, would make it a group of wives. And so the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis, that is that language structure can influence a person's way of categorizing and observing the world around them, applies to Punjabi because many Punjabi speakers would distinctly gender things in a context that English speakers would typically not. Punjabi also genders inanimate objects. For example, a chair, which would be called a kursi in Punjabi, ends with that I, and it would make that object more feminine. Or, for example, a mop, which would be called a pocha, ends with that a sound at the end, which is making it more masculine. So there might be a bit of an association between gender to those objects in the way Punjabi speakers perceive them. The structure between Punjabi and English is also very different. English follows subject, verb, object, while Punjabi follows subject, object, and verb. Oftentimes, adding a word at the end of the sentence that tells more so of the perspective, for this example, it would be in first person, as well as the tense or what time the action applies to. And in this example, in English, it would be I write letters, but in Punjabi, main chittiyan likhiyan haan, it would be I letters write, and then whatever present tense as well as perspective that would be added to this statement. And so, however, if you change that ending, instead of ha, you said si, which would be main chittiyan likhiyan si, it would turn it into past tense. Punjabi also has 3 tones. It's low tone, neutral, or high tone. Biggest differentiator between those tones is really pitch. And so for the example given, na turns into denying, or the word for denying, or being like, no, that's not, like, or don't is na. Like in a phrase, it would be, nah, I'm not like that, or nah, that's not right, or whatever other context that word would be used in. And it has that lower pitch, especially at the beginning of the word. The second word would be like describing a name, and it would just be na, which would have that neutral tone throughout the word. And then for the last but not least third word, which means bathe or shower, it would be na, which would have that more like higher pitch, whinier tone to it. And so all of these words are the same word, but they just mean different things due to the varying pitch that affects the tone of it.